This one jumps around above me like a goblin, doing witchcraft, satanic witchcraft, jumping around and pounding. Sometimes she'll actually slam the floor or throw things on the floor. I'm being irradiated that sonically, and sometimes you can see it in the screen like the other video I posted. These sounds coming through this wall are constant harassment day and night. And she literally went to the office and complained about my television, which literally I don't use and hasn't worked in a very long time now. See, hear all the rustling and bumping around? They're literally, this one's above me and this one's on this side of the wall surveilling me. One day they bragged that they were watching me with some kind of device through my wall in my apartment. They bragged about it out loud. They talk about they're going to make my penis ejaculate when I'm sleeping. That's what they talk about. That's why she's pounding. That's why she's rustling, because they don't like me talking about this openly, because that's what they do. They wait for me to go to sleep and then they do and they make all kinds of sounds and do their masturbate and sex witchcraft. This one wanted me to drill a hole in her bedroom ceiling. I didn't know, do you have a drill? Can you come in my bedroom and help me drill a hole? I didn't know that that was some kind of a, innuendo. I thought, the woman actually needed a genuine hole. I didn't understand why she was cracking up laughing when I showed up with an actual drill. This one up here, the same thing. I was going to drill and hammer and pound some plugs in the wall to hang a rod, right? So I go upstairs to tell her I'm going to do that so I don't upset her, and she's cracking up laughing, and I can't for the life of me figure out why is she cracking up laughing that I'm going to drill and hammer and pound anchors to hang a rod. Because that's all they think about is my penis day and night. And here I am saying, why is she laughing? You think she'd be like, oh, cool, that's very considerate of you. Yeah, no problem. I'm awake. Help yourself. And when she asked me to drill a hole in her bedroom, I didn't know it was because she wanted me to, bring my drill over there and drill a hole. I thought she wanted an actual physical drill and an actual physical hole. And she was cracking up laughing when I showed up with a drill to do it. Then next thing you know, the one upstairs over here, she wants me to drill, 6 or 7 holes in her bedroom. And her son was like, Mom, please stop. Because, she wanted to have sex to me. I didn't know that. Talking about she goes to a special church. Why don't I show up at her church? Yeah, you hear that? You hear that? Listen to that noise. You hear the acoustics of my voice change because they're literally, that's what all this sonic sound is in here. It's sound on sound convection. They're literally surveilling my apartment illegally. Look, hear that? Slamming around above me because she's angry at what I'm saying. And because I'm recording the evidence of all this harassment. And yes, I recorded what frequencies they were using to torment me to cause constant stress. Everywhere between 7,000 and 12,000 to 13,000 hertz. 9,000 and 11, not between 9,000 and 11,000 is the center of the dissident chording that they're using for the mind control. And it's very piercing. It's very upsetting to listen to day after day, every single day. They're also doing what's called neural mapping and, and measuring my stats and my vital signs, just like your phone does. Your phone can take X-rays. Your phone can check your vital signs, your stats. That's what all this radiation and sound in my apartment is. And this stuff over here, this Jardian, boop, bing, bing, NBC, all day long and night is just for mind control, to keep my anus clenching and to keep what they call a tickle under my testicles so they can masturbate my penis at night. That's why this one's rustling on this side of the wall and this one's hopping around like a hobgoblin demon. She literally went to the office and complained about the noises I make in here. And every noise I make in here is conducive. Singing, playing guitar. I literally went out of here in handcuffs for playing guitar. You hear that? And that's what I listen to. Video game noises and screaming and sex noises, all kinds of nonsense all day and night. and endless mumbling. Trump, marijuana, Internal Revenue Service, for mind control every single day and night. And this one hopping, literally hopping and slamming. Oh yeah, she's on Google. She's on Google Photos on my old account. Literally screaming like a literal scream, not exaggerating, like ah! And then I said, "Oh my God, what does she want, God?" And she hollers, "You know what I want," and that is literally on Google Photos. And this one was they were hollering through the wall that they were a racist from Alabama and they were homosexual and that I was a homophobe and that they wanted my penis to come tonight and hello, yoo-hoo, and calling me by name and kicking my walls and taping notes to my door and everything, including with children. And she was abusing those little boys over there. And yes, I made 2 phone calls about it, and CPS was not one of them. Not stupid. I'm not trying to ruin some child's life that's already being ruined. And yes, she attacked the one little boy. She tackled him to the floor, and he cried out, "Get off of me, Graham," because she was tackling him because he wouldn't help her with the psychic witchcraft. He'd sit on this side of the wall going, "Buh, buh, 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 huh? What? What? Huh? Oh, yeah? Oh, really? Huh? What? Huh?" And he would call me names like retard and murderer and IO and homophobe. They would shout. It was 3 boys, but 2 at one point, and then one in specific. And then at one point, he had a microphone in the wall. He wasn't even near the wall. It's just like this, broadcasting sound into my wall. This is every day and night for me. Every single day and night. This one hopping around like a hobgoblin. This one crawling and slamming and creaking against the wall. Oh yeah, and they'll project all kinds of sounds in here. A ice maker dumping in my ceiling, a dog barking in this wall back here, a dog barking in that closet, an airplane flying over me in the bathroom. Oh yeah, the other time I went right in the bathroom and I was like, "Oh God, I need a break from all this abuse." And then they think it's funny. They make a little airplane sound going. This is the second floor out of 3, and there's an airplane flying over in my bathroom. Truck Jake breaking behind the refrigerator, ice maker dumping in the ceiling, old radiator pipes knocking in the walls, clicking and clanking noises, electrostatic clicking in my bathroom wall panel, right? Which you could do with a sheet of fire code sheetrock. What this is, should be no reason I can hear her television through here. And then walk down the hallway and not hear it coming out of that door. The amount of volume that it would take to penetrate this wall, not being these layers, which a 2x6 wall, with the soundproofing insulation, right? To be able to hear what's going on in that apartment in here would be physically impossible unless amplified or extremely, extremely loud, which it's not. I asked Nick the other day, I said, "Do you hear that? How loud that is?" He goes, "Yes, it's very loud." Now, I don't know if you can hear this frequency here. It's ricocheting off of these corners up here. This one is about above 9,000 hertz. That's the center. That is the center of the dissonant chord of mind control. And they'll literally swirl the frequencies on top of it at about 7,800 hertz, 8,600 hertz, like obnoxious frequencies just going. They do it all night long to me. And all of it so they can masturbate my penis. And then they'll sit outside waiting for me to come home, walking, wounded, limping. And then they'll make comments. "Oh, do you think he's going to come tonight?" "Oh, I hope so." And I lost my children. I lost my children. I literally lost my family. My friends were killed, murdered, lost their lives, are homeless. I lost my children. I lost my house. I lost my business. This photo is only a couple of years ago. And they're telling me I'm 51 years old and that this little girl is over 20 years old now. And that's completely untrue. And there's multiple children, and I saw one recently here locally, and the police would not help me, but threatened to harm me. Yes, see the police videos of the police approaching me, and then me asking him, how you making out on the investigation finding my children, and watch how he turns around and hunches over like a hobgoblin demon. And yes, they've attacked me many times, and they've physically assaulted me many times, and they've menaced me, and they've threatened me, and they've terrorized me, and they've surveilled me, and they've mocked me, and they refused to help me procure that video of my missing daughter that was seen at the Speedway market. And he said there's only about 50 of us that I would have to fight if I want to persist. And then he rolled down the dog window, and he drove past me, and he rolled the window down to scare me with the dog car. And he postured with his gun and his handcuffs at me. And he's not the only one. A whole bunch of them did it. I want my children back. I want my children back. They're telling me that this person here, all right, ready, craniofacial? See that person there? They're telling me that person is this person. You can clearly see that that person is not that person. Give me a New York minute, would you? I'm not stupid, man. But they did. They convinced me. They were drugging me. They were raping me. They were trafficking my children. They were telling me, we love you. You have Capgras disease. Everyone is trying to help you. I mean, they had me laying on my kitchen floor crying whilst a preacher, some girl's mother, and her so-called sister and her were all standing in my kitchen telling me how I've destroyed everybody's life and my child's life and my family's life, and that I was schizophrenic and that I had Capgras disease. And that now you can be all alone because you've refused everyone's help. And then they put me in a mental asylum and they took my house illegally by a power of attorney, even though it was not foreclosed. I got house plants. I know how to cook food. I invented different kinds of guitar pedals with clear tops and a different style of a wah pedal with a longer throw and a larger treadle and a different fulcrum point. You know, I put my bicycle together, and yes, it got hit by a truck. That's why it's got all that tape on the grips and stuff, and I'm wounded. And I'm sitting here arguing with Amazon, trying to get my money back for that piece of junk. And then they say, oh, you're escalated. We observed you raising your voice. I want my children back. I want my children back. Do you understand? I want my children back. Does anyone understand that? How serious that is?